Car crashes in paradise. His body bleeding out and systematically shutting down. Blood crusting onto every inch of his bare skin as the water in the blood evaporates towards the Middle Eastern sun. With a core temperature well above 98.6, but experiencing a real feel of being thrown into a saltwater ice bath with open wounds and immediately placed onto a bed of coals. With each inhalation, there's a painful sensation in his body parts that still have functioning nerve endings, sending jolts through his body that felt like barbed wire being ripped through the nervous system along his spinal cord to the swollen base part of his brain that felt things. But his mind was fine, because through the pain, he could find time to pardon a thief's crime. The few pints of blood that he had left feverishly coursing through strangulated veins screamed like ambulance sirens for oxygen as he hung suffocating in the merciless sun. The merciful sun, hung suspended above the ground, drowning in air, but used his collapsing lungs to utter a pardon to a heart unhardened and cognizant of a miracle. See, miracles are cosmically concentrated moments in time that defy universal law, and the truest law is that sin earns us death. Christ hung between two thieves, one mocking him and asking for a miracle, the other understanding that the entire universe was on the verge of one. See, Christ had an innate inability to die. His death was the miracle. His resurrection was merely the universe correcting itself. One thief wanted a piece of that miracle, and the other didn't even realize it was happening. I hung on both sides of that cross, so sin-sick and dwelling on my own circumstances that I breathe curses to Christ from dying lungs like smoke in the air, blinding my eyes to see and allowing my ears to hear my own voice in my ear, in complete opposition to the only one capable of giving me paradise, rightfully suffering for what I deserve, but selfishly gasping for life like greedy thieves controlling my lungs, gripping onto my own twisted sense of justice the way that pierced palms resentfully grip onto bloody iron nail heads in an effort to preserve life in vain. I've also been that other thief, just as desperately aware of my condition, but understanding that my death was deserved. But for whatever reason, I was in the right place at the right time, hanging next to the author that could rewrite time, pen new lines in my lifeline, like the time when I was in a car accident and all I could hear was the ringing of a reverberating eardrum. He took what was broken and he remembered it. Remember me, the thief asked in his last desperate breath, and Christ answered him. It was an answer to a crooked thief. It was an answer to somebody who took things that were not his, who took things he had not earned. Today he'd be given something that was not his, given something he had not earned. Today you will see me in paradise. Words spoken by the one who had a paradise to give to a thief. In his last breaths, no less. His heart and his lungs pressed by the weightiness of death. A death he'd never earned, but a death he'd taken nonetheless. Today, you will see me in paradise. Words spoken as he hung by his wrist pierced with a pair of spikes, bleeding out his life's blood, redeeming thieving parasites, consciousness descending like a pair of flight, contending with his anguish and his duty, a vicious jousting pair of nights, his body soon to be laid to rest for 3 days and a pair of nights, thief soon to go to heaven where nothing on this earth can compare in height. God's word to him could have been prepare for flight because I made you ever right in the sight of the architect of paradise. Today, you will see me in paradise.